Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Urkak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim here in Atlanta, and I've got this AP News article pulled up, and I've been seeing a lot of this story in which we're covering it because this should be a warning that persecution is coming, and with that, the famine of the word and the end of Esau's world. And since his world is ending, they're getting more and more draconian. But let's go ahead and check out this article. It says Turkish student at Tufts University detained. Video shows masked people handcuffing her. Somerville, Massachusetts. A Turkish national and doctoral student at Tufts University has been detained by U.S. Department of Homeland Security agents without explanation, her lawyer said Wednesday. Rumesa Ozturk, 30, had just left her home in Somerville on Tuesday night when she was stopped, lawyer Masha Kanbabi said in a petition filed in Boston federal court. Video obtained by the Associated Press appears to show 6 people, their faces covered, taking away Ozturk's phone as she yells and is handcuffed. We're the police, members of the group are heard saying in the video. A man is heard asking, why are you hiding your faces? And here's some images from that incident in which she was taken away. It says Kanbabe said Ozturk, who is Muslim, was meeting friends for iftar, a meal that breaks a fast at sunset during Ramadan. So she was extremely hungry and getting taken away. Bad for her, stinks for her. But worshiping a false god, so that's what you get. It says we are unaware of her whereabouts and have not been able to contact her. No charges have been filed against Rumesa to date that we are aware of. Kambabi said in a statement, Ozturk has a visa allowing her to study in the United States, Kambabi said. And so here's actually, let's get down to the meat of it. All right, we'll start here. Kumar did not name the student, but university spokesperson Patrick Collins confirmed that Ozturk is a doctoral student in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. Democratic U.S. Republican Representative Ayanna Pressley called the arrest a horrifying violation of Rumesa's constitutional rights to due process and free speech. She must be immediately released. But anyway, basically she wrote a paper that was anti-Israeli, and she was in some protests that were for the pro-Palestinian, and she's here on a visa, so she's not illegal, but that is enough to get her removed from this nation, from the United States. I'm trying to look for where it might say anything. It says down here, senior DHS spokesperson confirmed Ozturk's detention and termination of her visa. DHS and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE, investigations found Ozturk engaged in activities in support of HAMAS, a foreign T organization that relishes the killing of Americans. A visa is a privilege, not a right, glorifying and supporting T's who kill Americans or Babylonians is grounds for visa issuance to be terminated. This is a common sense security, the spokesperson told. But the problem seems to be that she, or from what I'm hearing, it's not so much that she's supporting as she is anti-Israel. But we'll see as more comes out. So it says this as well. Ozturk was one of 4 students last March who wrote an op-ed in the Tufts Daily criticizing the university's response to its community union senate, passing resolutions that demanded Tufts acknowledge the Palestinian genocide, disclose its investments and divest from companies which direct or indirect ties, or with direct or indirect ties to Israel. Friends said Ozturk was not otherwise closely involved in protests against Israel, but after the piece was published, her name, photo, and work history were featured by Canary Mission, a website that says it documents people who promote hatred in the USA. And so Amalek just gets on the computer and finds people that speak out against the state of Israel. This is I's and J's on North American college campuses. The op-ed was only cited example. The op-ed was the only cited example of anti-Israel activism by Ozturk. And so I bring this up because she's just speaking out against Israel. We don't really know if there were ties to that H group or anything else, ties to any of the T groups or anything. It seems like she just wrote a paper and might have participated in a protest, and she's getting deported or getting her visa revoked and was detained in such a manner. But this just shows that things are getting more and more draconian, because this is supposed to be the land of the free, where they have free speech, and you can't even speak out against a foreign country, which isn't even this country. And this increasing, this is really just the beginning of it, where the devil's going to come down with great wrath. And you could do it to some Muslims first. It's kind of a warm up to see how the public reacts, because they've always, or Esau has been correlating them with T's for a very long time, and then expand from there to the persecution of the saints eventually, because that's their true target, are the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and of that, the elect that are actually speaking out against this system, because that's what's bringing this place down, just like the chanting around the walls of Jericho and bringing those walls down. The Lord has his men chanting down modern Babylon, which is the United States of America, as well as Esau's system, this great beast, which is NATO and the EU. And just exposing the truths, exposing biblical truths, and bringing out the true doctrine, and that is making Esau's kingdom fall, with Esau being so-called white man, as well as the small hatters. Those are all Edomites. They're masquerading as Jacob, but are actually go back to Esau. And yeah, this can grow into something much, much larger. And you see this with different totalitarian regimes that come in. Uh-oh. Come on. And when these regimes come in, they will get rid of dissent. And so you see the H-Man in 1934. Actually, 5 infamous purges. So what, from her being taken away, it seems like they're getting rid of dissenters. And this will increase, and you call that a purge, political purge. But going through, there's just 5 of them, so we'll just take a look at them real quick. H-Man in 1934, it says, H used a combination of the ballot box and bullying to gain power in Germany. Otherwise known as the Brown Shirts, acted as the paramilitary wing of that party under charismatic leader Ernst Röhm. They beat up and intimidated potential opponents during the 20s and early 30s. However, by 1934, they had become too powerful. Between June and July, Röhm, really just 3 days, Röhm and dozens of other SA leaders were shot dead. The incident became known as the Night of the Long Knives. Although the SA continued to exist, the purge had hobbled it. Then you got Stalin back in the Soviet Union and USSR. So Stalin used the killing of his right-hand man, Sergei Kirov, as a pretext for launching a ferocious purge in the leadership. Many historians believe Stalin had ordered Kirov's assassination to give him the excuse he needed. Dozens of party leaders were subsequently exiled or killed, often after show trials where they were accused of being in league with Trotsky, Stalin's rival for the leadership, who fled in 1929. Relatives, friends, and even possible sympathizers of anyone labeled a traitor were brutally dispatched. Trotsky was murdered, presumably on Stalin's orders, in Mexico in 1940. But this purge, they killed millions. They were in the USSR. Same, I wouldn't say it was millions in Germany, but they killed a lot of people. All dissenters, everyone that was against what they're saying. This guy in Iraq in 1979, which Esau is always demonizing him. In China, 76. And this is, these are new political systems coming in, so they kill everybody that is against it. You got what happened in Burma, which is relatively recent. But yeah, this could be the start of a purge. Everyone that is anti the state of Israel or speaking against it will be counted an enemy. So that means the prophets. They're looking at the prophets. In that article, they were talking about how there's watchdogs to just keep watch on what people are saying or anything that's against Israel. And so you've got to imagine we are on that red list. And so this is a warning that soon persecution will come. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. That being the Israelites. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Or, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. The devil, being the Edomites, goes into a deceiver. Even this, with getting rid of people, they've made it seem like it's a good thing to keep America up and running, but this is going to transfer over to actual citizens and not just people here on visas. Because at first it was just about illegals, and now you're seeing that it's about people that are here legally but say the wrong things, even though you're supposed to have freedom of speech. And devil knows that he is at the end of his line. They're going down, they're falling. We're watching the fall of a civilization, the fall of an empire, and they're going to do everything that they can to fight back to keep it afloat, and that's going to lead to some extreme measures being taken, like purges and all the way up to the guillotine. Everybody that's against their rulership, they're going to take out. But the Lord has his men in mind, as well as their families. Some of us will be martyrs, but the elect will be saved, because that's a promise. The Lord said that he's going to save a remnant. This is Luke 21 and verse 9. Yahushua is speaking about the end It says, "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by." And so we're seeing wars and commotions. Seems like more and more every single day there's protests and there are actual wars going on. Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. We just had one here in Georgia, which is rare, but we've had a few this year already, and they're becoming more and more frequent, as well as volcanoes erupting and these different forest fires or wildfires and just different things that are happening that signal the end. It says, "In famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven." And, going into the eclipses and the blood moons that we've been seeing, which we have a solar eclipse coming up in the next week or so. It says, "Before all these things, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you." So that persecution is just a part of the end days. It says, "Delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake." And so who's in the synagogues currently? It's Amalek. Speaking out against Amalek will eventually get you prison time or straight done away with, unalived. "And it shall turn to you for testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer." So, once you're being questioned, if you end up in this situation, the Lord's going to put his words into your mouth, just like he does on the highways and byways, just like he does in these lessons. The Lord is going to put his words into your mouth, so you don't even have to think about what you're going to say. It says, "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist." And we are seeing a form of that with this truth. These Christians and these Amalekites try to come up and try to go against what the elders and apostles of Great Millstone have told us, and what we're putting out, but they can't put it down, because if they actually had logical reasoning or logic and the truth of the matter, they could put this away to where it's not even a movement. But they don't have the truth of the scriptures. They don't even know the scriptures. They might know some words or some terms or some stories, but the overall understanding of the scriptures is only for the elect. And only the elect are going to have that. And these Christians do not have that. These Amalekites, these small hatters that think they're the Lord's people, they don't have the truth of it, because they would have put it down through words, but they can't. And all their ad hominem attacks and trying to surprise us, it's not going to cut it, because it's not the truth. We're here standing on the truth because the truth has to come out. The truth has to flourish. And that's what's going to put down this kingdom of lies, all the truth. But before that, they are going to persecute us. They are going to try to come after us and get us and take us away to their synagogues and into their prisons and show us their guillotines. But that article should be a warning that those times are fast approaching. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Nokah, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.